So what's going on, folks? Jason Ward back again, another workout, live streaming on the Twitch and recording to share to YouTube later. I just uploaded the last 2 days of workouts today. I'm kind of a little behind on my progress for that stuff recently. Pandemic's just kind of getting in my headspace lately. So today's workout is also going to be about trying to get me into a better headspace. Often after we finish our workouts, we are going to feel a lot better, feel like in a much more positive headspace. Once you start moving your body, things tend to improve quite a bit. So for today's workout, we're going to need a band and we're going to need a kettlebell, and that's it. So the warm-up, we're going to do a few rounds, just a couple of different movements. We're going to be hitting some band pull-aparts, some shoulder dislocators, and some overhead squats, holding the band up overhead. All right, so the goal is to get the upper body and the lower body moving and get ourselves prepped for the workout to come. So the 3 movements, we're going to be hitting like 10 to 15 reps. There's no like set number here. I want 3 to 4 rounds of quality movement. I'm going to throw on an 8-minute clock. Should give us more than enough time to get through those 3 to 4 rounds. So let's get that clock set up here. So it's not so much about really jacking the heart rate up. It's more about getting the body moving and getting things prepped. So our 8 minutes are on the clock now. For those band pull-aparts, you want to focus on giving a little bit of a pause at the end of the range of motion. And we're trying to activate through the upper back and shoulders as we pull that band apart. That 1 second pause really completely changes this movement. It's almost too easy if you don't give it a pause, and you'll start wanting to grab heavier and heavier bands, when really what you need is to take your time, focus on the quality of the execution, and let the muscle fatigue dictate when you're done the reps. For the shoulder dislocators, try to keep the arms relatively long, pull that band apart as you come over the top, and then keep the arms pulled apart as we come back to the front. So the goal is trying to keep the arms as long as possible. And that's going to open you up through the pecs. And activate through the upper back, shoulders. The band pull-aparts and the shoulder dislocators are 2 moves that I do quite often for shoulder health, as I find they really help reinforce good mobility and stability in various parts of the range for my shoulders. And since I incorporated them into my routine, I've had much less shoulder and elbow issues. So one season of softball a few years ago, I started to get some elbow pain while I was playing, and that pain has since gone away. So for these overhead squats, try to pull the band apart and then shove the floor apart as we come down and shove the floor away as we stand up. Try to stay as tall as you can as you drop down. And level your shoulders out if you can. I feel like I'm looking a little bit off kilter there, but that might be the angle of the camera. Or maybe one shoulder is sitting a little bit lower than the other. That's also very possible. All right, let's hit another round. So all of these movements today here are really shoulder heavy. So you will probably be starting to feel some fatigue through your shoulders in this second round. So you may need to reduce the number of reps that you're getting done with each round, and that's okay. Because the goal of any good warm-up is to get your heart rate up, get the target muscles primed for what is to come. not necessarily to be a challenge, right? Sometimes it's good to start a workout with a little challenge. Really depends on what kind of workout you plan on doing that day. So tomorrow will be our Throwdown Thursday workout. Throwdown Thursdays, I always like to do a little bit more aggressive warm-up beforehand because the overall point of the workout is to be a bit more aggressive. So you want to start the workout with a little bit more aggression as well. And those felt a lot easier in round 2 than they did in round 1. All right. We got about 3 minutes left. That should be time to get one more round in there. Grabbing myself a quick drink. Hopefully you got some water on hand. Staying hydrated is huge in workouts and just in life in general. You want to maximize your performance mentally, physically. Doesn't really matter what the goal is. You're going to need to be hydrated. And that 2 to 3 liters of water a day is a pretty good place to start. And then you can scale up from there as needed. Whew. My shoulders are definitely starting to feel that right now. Come back to these dislocators. All right, pecs have definitely opened up a little bit from round 1 to round 3 here. That's a good sign. But the fatigue is real. Actually just gonna face my mirror here, try to keep those heels down. As my ankles are feeling a little bit tight today. So we got another 45 seconds on the clock. So if you're not quite done 3 rounds, you can keep working at that. And if you're working on your 4th round, you can try to wrap that up right now as well. So, you got 25 seconds left. We're going to need the kettlebell for the rest of today's routine. You could work with a dumbbell if that's all you've got. All right, 10 seconds. And 2, 1. There you go. So that's warm up. Shoulders should be warm, legs should be mobilized, everything should be feeling a little bit more ready to get into today's workout. Okay. We're going to be working with some rotational strength and power. So we're going to be doing like a cross body clean to press. Okay. So with each segment of the movement, we're going to be rotating our body. If you're not comfortable with the rotations, you could go with a straight clean and press here instead. We're going to have 1 minute for each round. So we'll hit one arm in the first minute and the other arm in the second minute, and we'll alternate back and forth. The goal is to move your body through various ranges of motion. So we're shifting from one position to another. This is a much more athletic style of training. It's more about the movement potential than it is about the strength. You want to be able to generate strength in any position if you want to be a better athlete. And I mean, most of us are probably not participating in high-level sport anymore, but being able to move well and brace yourself in unusual positions is still a useful skill. You never know when you're going to need to be able to be strong in an unusual position. This can help save you from falls, basically you'll be better able to catch yourself if you happen to trip, right? And who knows, maybe you want to play with your kids. They're going to have you running around. Being stronger and more stable is going to be beneficial for improving your overall quality of life. Okay, so the movement is a rotational clean to a rotational press. So we're basically going to be starting to the outside of the foot. Okay, so we're down, a little bit of a squat. We want to drive through the floor, so we push the floor away, pull, rotate into the catch, and then rotate into the press. So we're turning away. So we want to be able to shift the weight onto the balls of the foot. Okay, so we're not trying to stay back on the heel. We actually want to come onto the heels or onto the balls as we shift from side to side. Okay, I would definitely recommend starting with a lighter weight if you can and really focusing on how you do these movements. I played around with a lot of this stuff with very light kettlebells at first, and I've progressed to this 50-pound kettlebell for most of these movements. So we're going to have 1 minute for each side, and I want to hit 5 to 7 reps on each side during that minute. Try to keep it to 30 to 40 seconds of work so you get 20 to 30 seconds of rest in each round, and we'll cycle through 10 rounds total so we get 5 for each side. All right, so again, if you're not comfortable with that rotational clean and press, you could go with a straight clean and press instead. A more traditional clean and press is a perfectly fine move here, and that again could be done with a dumbbell or a kettlebell. Your call. All right, so get my interval timer set up here. And EMOM 10 minutes. There we go. All right, that's the one. All right, so alternating sides. Try to keep everything nice and tight. Let's start with the right arm. So we clean, press, rotate back to the floor, and we're just to the outside. Clean, press. Okay, that felt pretty good. Feeling a little bit off in my coordination today. Probably not a good sign since my right hand is my dominant hand for how my left side's going to feel with this. So you will likely find that your non-dominant side feels a little bit less steady and stable as you move through. All right. So working in multiple planes of movement can really get the heart rate up a little bit higher. And the neuromuscular challenge, so that's the brain I don't know what that was telling me. The brain connection can really change things in terms of calorie burn as well. So when you hit movements that are more novel, that are less efficient, you can actually wind up burning more calories. Which, if fat loss is your goal, is super. Because more calories burned means we're getting closer to our goal. Okay. Whew. So that's two rounds for each side so far. We're hitting 5 total. So we're getting somewhere in the 25 to 35 rep range for total reps on each side. So this is modification of stuff from the WEC method. If you're not following them on YouTube, Instagram, that kind of thing, they post some great content. Definitely check those guys out. Share a lot of very different movement protocols from what we would normally see from most fitness type accounts. All right. Ooh, excuse me. Heart's definitely racing. Fatigue is building. That's what we want. That's how we make our progress. That's where our results come from. All right, one more of each side. And then we can move on to our conditioning section for today's workout. Oh boy. Ooh. Okay, last one. You got about 18 seconds left in our strength section here, which is definitely just as much aerobic as strength today. Yeah, it's a lot of yellow there. Whoop. There we go. All right. Nice work. Put a little bit of chalk on because I'm probably going to need it in this next section. Let that dry a little bit before I start demoing. We're going to hit a couple of 3-minute AMRAPs for today's workout. So we're going to have kettlebell snatches, 3 reps per side. Then 3 gorilla rows on each side, 3 burpees, and then how many rounds can we get done in 3 minutes? Then we'll have a minute's rest, and we're gonna repeat, try to get a little bit faster, and we're gonna take 1 more minute, do it again 1 more time, and again, try to get a little bit faster. So each 3-minute AMRAP, we wanna try to do a little bit better than the previous one, but we've only got a minute to recover between each one, and your score is the total number of reps completed between all 3 of our AMRAPs, okay? So when you have a structure like this, the best approach for your workout is to go a little bit slower in the first one at a pace you know you're gonna be able to maintain, then deep breaths to recover, push the pace a little bit in the second set or second 3-minute AMRAP, and then in the last 3-minute AMRAP, you just go ham, give it everything you've got to try to get as many reps as you can. So by taking that approach, you should maximize the total number of reps that you're able to complete inside of that workout, okay? So it's definitely a pacing game. You want to go fast, but you also want to be able to recover enough to be able to keep going fast in the subsequent 3-minute AMRAPs to come, okay? So your goal is to find a good pace for the first round, a more aggressive pace in round 2, and then your most aggressive pace in round 3, okay? So that being said, let's get a clock set up here. Do I already have one? 3 on, 1 off. There it is. Beauty. All right. So our kettlebell snatches. Again, 3 per arm is the goal. You want to focus on generating power through the hips, get a nice high pull, and then punch and catch the weight. So it's going to look like this. And then swing it back through and repeat. So all of that power is from the hip, and then you just time your pull with that extension. Try to push your feet into the floor, get that nice high pull, punch to catch the weight, and then swing it back through into that hinge and repeat. So you can go back to the floor to switch hands, or if you're comfortable with a kettlebell swing to the other hand and then going to the other side, you can, or even transitioning hands on your last rep from like the shoulder or as you're coming down, whatever you're comfortable with, to hit the 3 on the other side, okay? Then, after you're finished those 3 reps for each, we're gonna move into gorilla row, so the weight comes back to the floor. You wanna stay nice and tall. We're gonna rip that weight up, switching sides. So you wanna try to stay tall, so we're loading the hips a little bit, and then a nice pull with a little bit of rotation to work the trunk at the same time as we're working the lats and the arms. Okay, so 3 is 6, so 3 per arm, not 3 total, okay? So 3 per arm, and then burpees, you're dropping to the floor, pushing the floor away, little hop, and then repeat that for 3 reps. And then back to your snatches and repeat the process. Okay, so I would be striving to try to keep about a round per minute as a pace to start, and then seeing if I can push that pace a little bit faster as the 3-minute rounds go on. Because you got 6 reps of snatches, 6 of the gorilla rows, and then 3 burpees. That unless you're very conditioned and you know you're gonna be able to push a little bit harder than that, that's a pretty good target to shoot for, trying to keep about around a minute and then pushing the pace in the later rounds. So that's what you're probably gonna see me do. I might pick the pace up a little bit if it's feeling relatively easy and I'm feeling in control of my heart rate. It really will all come down to how much control I feel I have of my heart rate. All right. Are you ready? I think I'm ready. Whether I am or not, we're gonna get started. So we got 5 seconds on the clock. Starting with those snatches, you got 3 minutes. Here we go. So we're halfway through our first 3-minute round. So that means we're a minute and a half down. All right, 3 seconds, 2, 1. 1 minute to recover. And we're going to do 2 more rounds of that. So pick up where you left off. So I finished on my burpees. So I'll start with 3 burpees and then start moving through the exercises again. And that was round 5, I believe I was starting there. Might have to go back to the tapes and watch after the fact. Double check. That was definitely a tough but manageable pace, I think. So round 2 and 2, 1. Here we go. Halfway. To recover, and I'm starting back on the rows. So I think pushing into the 4th round is where I was in both rounds so far. Definitely feeling the fatigue now. So my goal is to hold the pace for this last round. If I can break it, great. If not, that's okay too. Here we go. Can you tell the burpees are my least favorite thing? Halfway, this last round, so dig in. Fight for every single rep now. 20 seconds. And it's time. Okay. I need a minute, guys. Oh. I really wanted to finish that fourth round. 3 reps shy is pretty good, though. Pretty sure that was the best of the 3 rounds. The first round might have been faster. I think I was about like 35 to 40 seconds per round on that attempt. So I think I broke 4. I think I was pushing into 5 on that one, and then just shy of 4 in each of the second and third. And the clock was set for 4 rounds, even though I was only doing 3, because it was set up for a different workout than this one. The Gauntlet Routine is actually what it was set up for. It's one of the challenge workouts that I've done a few times. I've done it with the body weight and with the kettlebell. 3-minute rounds with 1-minute rest are very challenging routines. It's like just enough recovery time to be able to give a really good effort every time, but not quite enough recovery to be able to give like full out sprint pace on every round. Okay. Oh. golden. I definitely do feel a lot better than I did when I started. So that's a good sign. All right. Not a bad workout total. Just shy of 600 calories burned by my MyZone's estimate. Not bad considering the slightly lower intensity warm-up. I was definitely trying to push the pace a little bit more. Okay. With the finishers today, got up into the red zone, which is good. Didn't stay in the red zone for extended periods of time, which is also good. Means I was managing my intensity really well. In case you haven't been on the stream and you don't know what I'm talking about with the zones, the MyZone gives you like a color coordination with the intensity that you're giving. So like red zone is 90 to 100% of heart rate max, and yellow is 80 to 90, and then you've got green at 70 and blue at 60, and then gray or dark gray at 50. Anything below dark gray is light gray, and doesn't really give you any calories burned or MyZone effort points, as they're called, or MEPs. MyZone is one of the better heart rate trackers on the market right now. They just released the MZ Switch. I haven't had a chance to try one out yet, but I might pick one up later this summer. Really depends. I haven't decided if I really need it. I've had this one that I'm wearing now for just over 5 years, so it's probably due for an upgrade, but it's still working great. So I'm kind of like hesitant to spend money on another one. As long as this one's still working, what's the point, right? Anyway, that's today's workout. Excellent work if you joined in. If you didn't, hopefully you enjoyed watching me suffer. I'll be posting this up to my YouTube. You can find me at Ward's Way to Fitness. If you want to look for me on Instagram, the link is somewhere, either up in my profile or down in the comment section below, depending on where you're watching this. Twitter at WW2Fitness, and Instagram is at Ward's Way to Fitness, all one word. Yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the workout today. If you did try it, let me know. Maybe send me a video of you trying to do this. You can hyperlapse it, whatever. Let me know how you fared, and tag me so I can share with my peeps. I love watching people get more fit. All right. If you guys have any questions for me, you can find me at any of the places I listed, and I will catch you guys on the next stream. Peace out, bitches.